Zhang Chunlai noticed the exposed corner of the tunic, causing his expression to sour. The tunic was said to be the prized treasure of Heaven Choice Temple, one of the 4 great Buddhist sects. Why would it be in the possession of an evil Sky Pavilion's disciple? For a mortal, the Zen tunic would render the wearer invincible to blades and spears. For a cultivator, it would be able to repel energy-based attacks. Since I decided to come here, I swear I'll end your wretched life. Zhang Chunlai said arrogantly as he waved his arm. The scattered cultivators gathered again. Forget about the small fries. It's said that the evil Sky Pavilion's 8th disciple is skilled in escaping. Keep him surrounded. I'd like to see how long that Zen tunic will hold out. Whoosh! 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 2 Divine Court Realm cultivators led several Brahmin Sea Realm cultivators as they rushed over. Zhu Honggong immediately landed on the ground. He pulled a face and said, "Eldest senior brother, I can't do this anymore." Yu Zhenghai smiled faintly and said, "You did well. You're smart enough to use a formation to fight against a nascent Divinity Tribulation Realm cultivator. Not bad." At this moment, Zhang Chunlai felt something was amiss. Why would an evil Sky Pavilion's disciple bow toward a middle-aged man? "Eldest senior brother, hurry up. If this drags on, my shoddy stronghold will be destroyed by this old fart." Without the support from the formation, even if Zhu Honggong had the Zen tunic, he would only be a punching bag in a kasaya. It was not enough for him to stand up to Zhang Chunlai. "Don't be afraid, junior brother." Yu Zhenghai walked forward with his hands on his back as he looked up into the sky. Zhang Chunlai glanced at them indifferently and said, "This is nothing but false bravado. I won't fall for your petty tricks again. Take them down." "Understood." Yu Zhenghai noticed that Zhang Chunlai used the word again. He turned to look at Zhu Honggong, who hastily lowered his head, like a child who had done something wrong. Several cultivators surrounded them in the air. Zhang Chunlai did not waste any more words as he launched another palm strike from above. Dozens of palm prints descended on the duo like a falling mountain. Yu Zhenghai continued to stand still with his hands on his back. He did not seem to be in a hurry, nor did he seem panicked. When the palm prints were about to land on them, Yu Zhenghai moved his right hand. His palm struck the air above him. A seemingly harmless energy surged out of Yu Zhenghai's palm and collided with the onslaught of palm prints. Boom! A violent shockwave rippled horizontally in the air as a result of the collision. Boom! 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 The trees that had been uprooted in the surroundings were uniformly cut in half by the horizontal shockwave. Strangely, the shockwave did not dissipate. It seemed to be powered by a peculiar energy. Zhu Honggong's expression was one of envy and awe. This attack was a combination of Yu Zhenghai's, his eldest senior brother, Great Dark Heaven Memorial, and the Palm Strike, the Great Dark Heavenly Palm. The single palm strike repelled several of his enemies, and there was a recoil of primal chi. Zhu Honggong could not get enough of this. "Retreat!" Zhang Chunlai was greatly shocked as he ordered everyone to fall back. He instantly knew the middle-aged man was a peerless elite. Yu Zhenghai looked up and said, "Too late." His voice traveled up into the air, seemingly carried by a force. Bam! 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 The Brahmin Sea Realm cultivators could not even withstand a single hit. They dropped like flies immediately. On the other hand, the Divine Court Realm cultivators had managed to rise higher in the sky, but their ends were just as tragic. The only person left standing was the nascent Divinity Tribulation Realm cultivator, Zhang Chunlai. He glared at Yu Zhenghai as he retreated. After a moment, he unleashed his ultimate skill again. 100 Tribulations Insight. Yu Zhenghai smiled faintly as he said, "I was waiting for your avatar." He waved his right arm, and the Jasper saber spun and flew out. Heaven-grade weapons were the Achilles' heels of every avatar. It could easily break through the avatar's defenses. 100 Tribulations Inside Avatar was an ultimate move that expended much of the cultivator's energy. If an avatar was destroyed, it was akin to dealing a huge blow to the cultivator. Eldest senior brother, he intends on fleeing with the grand technique. Zhu Honggong cried out. Zhang Chunlai and his 100 Tribulations Insight Avatar moved 1,000 meters away in just a blink of an eye. In a few short seconds, he was already out of the Tiger Ridge Gang's territory. He was about to sigh in relief when he saw Yu Zhenghai hovering in the air with his hands on his back, standing in the path of his 100 Tribulations Insight avatar. With his black garments and chiseled face, Yu Zhenghai looked extremely mighty and majestic under the sun's ray. Zhang Chunlai heard a sound from above. He looked up. It was a jasper saber wrapped in dense energy. It was spinning constantly, looking larger than a cartwheel. This was the technique. The dark heaven's starlight. You're only a 5-leaf? Yu Zhenghai questioned. In other words, he meant, how did a 5-leaf nascent divinity tribulation realm cultivator only manage to run this far? Alas, this old man was far from being a worthy opponent. He could not find it in himself to respect such an opponent. Zhang Chunlai was not even at the level of his 4 great protectors. You. Zhang Chunlai stammered as he tried to unleash his grand technique again. Yu Zhenghai rested his hands on his back as he said, if this is all the righteous sect is capable of, you're being overly arrogant to say you'll flatten my 8th junior brother's Tiger Ridge. The Evil Sky Pavilion's first disciple? At this moment, the dark heaven starlight landed on the 100 Tribulations Insight avatar. Boom! The avatar seemed as soft as tofu. It was instantly destroyed by the jasper saber. Energy roiled violently in the air, creating a flurry of hurricanes. It blew through the forests, uprooting trees and killing birds and wild beasts. Yu Zhenghai was the only one who was completely unaffected. He looked calmly at the rampaging energies. Zhang Chunlai despaired. Can I escape? Using the grand technique will only expedite my doom. He raised his palm skyward, and all his primal chi surged out. At this point, he had almost completely depleted his power. Countless palm prints pushed against the spinning heaven-grade weapon. Unfortunately, the differences between their realms were too great. Moreover, the jasper saber was a gem even among heaven-grade weapons. Bam! When the jasper saber slashed at Zhang Chunlai, Yu Zhenghai had already turned away. He made his way back to the Tiger Ridge. The jasper saber returned to its owner after completed its task. In just a blink of an eye, the entire place fell silent. The roiling energy had calmed down as well. The members of the Tiger Ridge Gang were completely dumbstruck. All it took was a palm strike and a blade strike, and it was over. They were rooted to their spots in shock as they surveyed the uprooted trees and the chaotic landscape. If they did not witness this with their own eyes, they would not believe this was done by the Evil Sky Pavilion's first disciple. They had followed Zhu Honggong because of his affiliation with the Evil Sky Pavilion. His performance had already exceeded their expectations. Who knew the Evil Sky Pavilion's first disciple was this powerful? Against the 5-leaf cultivation-based elite, he had ended the battle so decisively and quickly. Yu Zhenghai returned to Tiger Ridge and landed before Zhu Honggong. He raised a hand and patted Zhu Honggong's shoulder. You're lucky he was only a 5-leaf cultivator. If he had another leaf, you would have been in deep trouble earlier. Zhu Honggong was still in a daze. He wore a blank expression on his face. When Yu Zhenghai patted his shoulder, he gulped when he regained his senses. The eldest senior brother. Zhu Honggong suddenly seemed a lot more obedient as he trailed after Yu Zhenghai. You become much more powerful after coming out from seclusion. I was using a sledgehammer on a nut. It's nothing worth mentioning, Yu Zhenghai said. It's worth mentioning. I've never seen anything like your great, dark heavenly palm, eldest senior brother. It was 2F* King awesome. The admiration I have for you is as endless as the roaring river, and as... That's enough. Yu Zhenghai went into the stronghold and sat down. You've been working with Old 7th for a long time. Who did you learn all this flattery from? Zhu Honggong laughed sheepishly before he said, Thank you for lending a hand, eldest senior brother. If it weren't for you, I would have been in dire straits today. Yu Zhenghai did not reply to him. Instead, he asked, Is Old 7th responsible for your octagon formation? You have keen eyes, eldest senior brother. I truly can't keep anything from you. Did Old 7th give you the Zen tunic as well? Yu Zhenghai asked. Zhu Honggong immediately slapped his chest and said, Eldest senior brother, please, this is the only treasure I have. Yu Zhenghai sighed and shook his head. Zhu Honggong chuckled and said, "Eldest senior brother, you're so awesome. There's no way you'll be interested in this Zen tunic. Your protective energy alone is far superior compared to my tunic." As he spoke, his voice weakened before he finally said, "Yes, it was seventh senior brother who obtained it from the Heaven Choice Temple." Yu Zhenghai said, "Don't let old seven's intentions go to waste. If it weren't for this Zen tunic, you would have been long dead." "You're right, eldest senior brother. The righteous sect has lost its soldiers in general. Knowing Zhang Yuanshan, I don't think he'll come here any time soon," Yu Zhenghai said slowly. "However, you must be on your guard." "Yes, eldest senior brother," Zhu Honggong replied obediently. Yu Zhenghai glanced at the box next to him and asked, "Did fourth junior brother mention when he'll be coming for the box?" Zhu Honggong counted his fingers and said, "He'll come in 3 days." "In that case, I'll stay for 3 days." "You can stay here as long as you like, eldest senior brother," Zhu Honggong said ingratiatingly. Yu Zhenghai laughed heartily as he shook his head and said, "Talking to you is boring me to no end. How I wish old seventh was here." After he spoke, he rose to his feet and waved his arm. The mysterious box floated to him immediately. Soon after, his jasper saber appeared as well. An envious expression appeared on Zhu Honggong's face when he saw the jasper saber. He really wished there was a heaven-grade weapon in the mysterious box. "Are you going to unlock the box, eldest senior brother?" The jasper saber moved into the groove. Click! A crisp sound rang in the air. The jasper saber had fulfilled its purpose as one of keys. Soon after, the jasper saber was ejected and it vanished. "My dear master, just how many treasures do you have?" Zhu Honggong said with a grin. "Eldest senior brother, with your strength, I'm sure you can think of a way to open this box. Who knows, we might find an unexpected treasure hidden within." Yu Zhenghai shook his head. He did not think there would be anything in the box that would attract his attention. He said, "Ever since the Evil Sky Pavilion started recruiting disciples, Master gave everyone a set of cultivation methods and a weapon. Since then, the Evil Sky Pavilion's name began to rise in prestige. I won't be surprised if there's a treasure in the box." "That's right. Eldest senior brother, you've defeated many elites with your Jasper Saber and Great Dark Heaven Memorial. Then, you founded the Nether Sect, and it's become the greatest cult in Great Yan. Apart from that, second senior brother's Guiyuan sword technique has reached perfection as well, and nobody can lay a finger on him in Upper Prime City. He has also destroyed countless precious items," Zhu Honggong said, his words filled with praise. Yu Zhenghai turned and looked at Zhu Honggong. Zhu Honggong's heart skipped a beat. He hastily added, Although second senior brother's sword technique is powerful, it pales in comparison to your Great Dark Heaven Memorial, eldest senior brother." Yu Zhenghai said, "Second junior brother has always been at odds with me. However, I'm still his eldest senior brother." Of course. Your magnanimity isn't something that others can replicate." Zhu Honggong knew that Yu Shangrong had killed Chen Wenjie, who was from Yu Zhenghai's faction. Chen Wenjie was one of the 3 sword freaks who was highly skilled with the sword. Chen Wenjie could be regarded as one of Yu Zhenghai's helpful assistants. However, Yu Zhenghai did not hold this against Yu Shangrong. If this was not magnanimity, he did not know what was. As someone with his standing, Yu Zhenghai had heard too much flattery over the years. He was already numb to this. "Tell your men to tidy the place." Zhu Honggong immediately gestured at his subordinates outside. "Tidy this place up. My eldest senior brother wants to rest." This person was Yu Zhenghai, the Evil Sky Pavilion's first disciple who repelled the righteous sect with only 2 moves. He was also the sect master of Nether Sect Master, whose cultivation base was unfathomable. Naturally, nobody dared to slack off. They quickly nodded and hastily busied themselves with clearing the place. 3 days passed in just a blink of an eye. The morning sun shone on Tiger Ridge. The stronghold was now more organized after they cleaned up the aftermath of the battle. However, the uprooted trees made the place look barren. A kilometer away from the stronghold, Mingshi Yin appeared, as he said he would. Initially, he intended to appear in Tiger Ridge directly. However, he found the surroundings strange, so he decided to investigate it. As he surveyed his surroundings, he murmured, "Elites were fighting here." Ming-Sher-In was not stupid. He knew this aftermath was likely caused by a battle between two strong cultivators. He cast a suspicious glance toward Tiger Ridge. "Old Eighth, that stupid swine. I hope he's all right." Ming-Sher-In was feeling slightly worried. He tapped the ground lightly with his feet. With movements as quick as lightning, he sped toward Tiger Ridge. When he arrived, he was further shocked by the state the Tiger Ridge was in. All the trees had been uprooted. HM? A righteous sex flying chariot. A fallen flying chariot caught Ming-Sher-Yin's eye. The name of the righteous sect was displayed on the flying chariot. He was still mulling over this when two members from the Tiger Ridge gang appeared. The two Tiger Ridge gang's members bowed and said, "Mr. Fourth, gang leader has been waiting for you for a long time." Ming-Sher-In was taken aback. He asked skeptically, "He's been waiting for me for a long time?" Apart from that, he was surprised that these two low-level cultivators recognized him. Ming-Sher-In stroked his chin as he pondered about this for a moment. Perhaps his reputation had begun to spread far and wide, and his last visit left an impression on them. However, how did Old Eighth know he would appear specifically at this exact moment? "Yes, Mr. First told us to come and get you." "Mr. First?" Ming-Sher-In frowned when he heard this. "Don't tell me that Yu Zhenghai, the sect master of Nether Sect, is on your mountain." "Yes." Ming-Sher-In was flustered, losing his composure immediately. He scratched his head before he waved his arm and said, "Well, I suddenly remember that I have something to attend to. I'll come for the box some other day." Mr. Fourth. That's all right, I know my way out." Ming-Sher-In waved his hand and quickly retreated. Just when he was about to cast a skill to leave, a booming voice rang from the direction of the Tiger Ridge. "Old Fourth, since you're here, why are you in such a hurry to leave? We haven't seen each other for a long time. Let's reminisce about old times in Old Eight's mountain stronghold. I've had wine and food prepared. Are you trying to hurt my feelings by leaving now?" Ming-Sher-In, who clearly heard Yu Zhenghai's voice, felt speechless. He had an unnatural expression on his face as he thought to himself, "Damn it! What rotten luck! Mr. Fourth, this way, please." Ming-Sher-In was helpless. He could only follow them to the stronghold. Just as Yu Zhenghai had said, there was a table full of sumptuous dishes. Ming-Sher-In saw his eldest senior brother seated at the table. His heart raced when he saw his eldest senior brother, but he mustered up his courage and walked up to the table. "There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm fine even though I'm next to Master all the time. Why should I be afraid of eldest senior brother?" Ming-Sher-In cupped his fists together and said, "Greetings, eldest senior brother." Zhu Honggong, Old Eighth, was polite. He hastily stood up. "Fourth senior brother." Yu Zhenghai spoke candidly. "Fourth junior brother, come and sit. Pour us some wine. None of us are allowed to leave until we're drunk." Ming-Sher-In hastily waved his hand. "Eldest senior brother, you can drink an ocean with your tolerance. I don't think I can compete with you. Also, I came for the box, and I'm in a hurry to report to Master. By the way, Old Eighth, where's Master's box?" Yu Zhenghai said, "There's no need to rush. The box is behind me. Come, sit." Did Ming-Sher-In have a choice? He decided to sit down. It would not do for him to oppose his eldest senior brother. It would only result in a beating. When he sat down, his cup was filled. Without rhyme or reason, Yu Zhenghai suddenly said, "Old Fourth, I was told that you frequently badmouth me in front of Master." "No way. Who's feeding you false information, eldest senior brother?" Ming-Sher-In widened his eyes in shock. "Don't be nervous. If I can't even overlook such a trivial matter, how can I be worthy of being your eldest senior brother?" Yu Zhenghai's voice was gentle, deep, and amiable. From the beginning until now, Zhu Honggong never stopped eating. However, at this moment, he chimed in, "That's right. Eldest senior brother isn't so petty." Yu Zhenghai said, "Old Fourth, how are things up on the mountain these days?" Ming-Sher-In sighed and answered frankly, "Things are better than before. Master's getting old. The people who are coveting the evil sky pavilion are constantly trying to take a bite out of us. Yu Zhenghai sighed and said, "How's Master faring? Is his temper as bad as before?" When he heard this, Zhu Honggong stopped eating and looked at Mingshi Yin. His body's fine. He doesn't have any problems clobbering someone. Mingshi Yin was tight-lipped. As for his temper, there are improvements. "So I heard." Yu Zhenghai raised his wine cup and emptied it. He smiled and said, "I heard Master has given you the heaven-grade weapon, the separation hook and scabbard." Mingshi Yin was slightly taken aback. He said, "You sure keep yourself well-informed, eldest senior brother. Although I've left the evil sky pavilion for a long time, my heart has always lain with it." Yu Zhenghai said calmly, "To be honest, I have something I would like to ask. Eldest senior brother, we're brothers. Say what's on your mind. There's no need to hold back. When you were in the evil sky pavilion, the evil sky pavilion was in its golden days. Nobody even dared to dream about looking for trouble with us. I'm curious why you chose to leave the evil sky pavilion, eldest senior brother." Mingshi Yin asked solemnly. He had asked Si Wuya, old seventh, the same question. However, Si Wuya had only given him a vague answer. Who knew maybe his eldest senior brother would give him a straight answer? Yu Zhenghai drank 3 cups of wine consecutively. Each time, the Tiger Ridge Gang's member next to him would refill his cup. "If I didn't leave the evil sky pavilion, I would have died." Mingshi Yin and Zhu Honggong were stunned. "It's that bad?" Yu Zhenghai nodded calmly and said, "Forget it. Let's not talk about this. Come, let's have a drink." Mingshi Yin emptied another cup with a perplexed expression on his face. "Another? Everyone in the evil sky pavilion knew that Yu Zhenghai loved to drink. He could care less about other matters, but he would insist on drinking to his heart's content when it came to wine. Mingshi Yin was starting to feel queasy after a few cups of strong wine. "Eldest senior brother," we reminisced and drank. "The box." "Old fourth, if I were to say that I want to keep this box to myself, what would you do?" Yu Zhenghai put his wine cup down and looked at Mingshi Yin seriously. "I can't disobey Master's orders. You should know his temper. Eldest senior brother, I'm only acting on orders. If I don't return with the box, Master will definitely punish me." Mingshi Yin replied. Yu Zhenghai chuckled lightly and said, "You weren't like this before. Junior brother Wuya told me about your changes in his letter. He said you're much more well-behaved now." "Looks like he's right." "Old seventh sure likes to gossip," Mingshi Yin muttered. "He's praising you. He wasn't bad-mouthing you. There's no need to take it to heart." "That's fine, then." Yu Zhenghai glanced at Zhu Honggong, old eighth, before he shifted his eyes back to Mingshi Yin. Then he said, "Master is getting old, and the evil sky pavilion's days of glory have passed. Master might be able to hold out this year, but what about next year, the year after, or 10 years later?" "Eldest senior brother, I know what you mean. I know Master is getting old and won't be able to overcome his life limit. I've thought about that." Mingshi Yin said, "However, Master is still alive and well now. We shouldn't talk about things that have yet to happen. We can only leave tomorrow's worries for tomorrow." "Well said." Yu Zhenghai clapped his hands when he heard Mingshi Yin's words. Zhu Honggong followed suit. "That was a great speech for senior brother." Mingshi Yin rolled his eyes at Zhu Honggong before he said chidingly, "Just keep eating." Zhu Honggong resumed working with his bowl and chopsticks. He would occasionally steal a glance at them. "Two big bosses whom I can't offend are talking to each other. Why am I butting into their conversation?